Michael Jordan needs to be investigated.
I'm not too much on B-Mill. Not too much
It's not even about him. It's you trolled that draft. You trolled.
He didn't troll.
Yes, he did.
Again, if you don't take Scoot 10 out of 10 when you have a all-star point guard you're giving $260 million to that's not playing off the ball. You're not taking
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's an 8 out of 10.
Again. Scoot Henderson is a small, athletic, on-ball point guard. You have a tall, semi-athletic, all-skill, on-ball point guard who's an all-star that you're paying $260 million to. There is no universe where you take a guy who's on-ball to play next to a guy who's on-ball. You took need. Now, Brandon Miller, the gap between talent and need is a lot smaller than any other situation where you would take need over talent. So it fits. When you put Brandon Miller next to a LaMelo Ball in a system, he looks a lot better and he fits with LaMelo. They worry about fit, not just, who's the best prospect? We're not the Sixers. We're not going to just take a bunch of guys in the same position.
Crazy, but
let me ask you this.
That's just me.
Because you know ball. I'm not going to lie that they have not gotten that same play style out of like a Keontae George.
I don't know. I haven't seen Keontae George play basketball.
Okay.
You've never. I'm about to say what you. I don't know his game. I'm not familiar with Keontae's game. I've never talked about Keontae George. So
is come off the dribble? I'm not off the dribble, but a catch and shoot type dude. He can light it up. It's just, that one. At that point though, you just gotta assess, and maybe they couldn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna debate it, but I was gonna debate this. They probably could make it work, but that's neither here nor there.
That's why a lot of
it would be a hindrance.
Even though I probably would disagree in terms of long-term success, my argument is simply, why are you drafting for fit? You're the fucking Hornets, but that's neither here nor there. So to each his own. Because
when Vic is the best prospect, then you have Brandon Miller, and the following next 4 best prospects are all point guards relatively. I mean, at that point, you draft for fit when you already have a point guard. If they had a 2, if their guy was, if they were the Timberwolves at 2, I definitely understand taking Scoot. Anthony Edwards is not just a strictly on ball, need the ball in his hands 24/7 type of guard. He's a 2 guard. He can play off ball. You need someone next to him.
I'm saying to get more specific. So because we're on a podcast, so I guess I do need to get more specific. I can't just be nonchalant on the topic. You could get Scoot and either not pay Melo because you're unsure about him at this point. Because let's be honest, Melo, my dog, I fuck with Melo, you fuck with Melo, but ultimately they've been in the exact same space outside of that one season. They've been in the exact same space. So there's no real warrant for, hey, bro, we have to be 10 toes loyal to LaMelo Ball here. That's just reality more so than anything else. So you could take Scoot there and just see what happens. Maybe they do fit together. Maybe you could coach that up. Not trusting the Hornets to coach well is crazy, but maybe you could coach that up. Or B, in my personal opinion, you put the motherfuckers in the same gym and you pick. You put the motherfuckers in the same gym and pick, because what you can just pack
what the Lakers did with Lonzo and D'Lo.
You just pack one up and trade them. Whether it's for a current All-Star, whether it's for All-Star, whether it's for the next player in the draft that you think will be a long-term better fit with the guy that you now have 100% chosen. But I don't feel like it's really a reason if we're all like, oh yeah, Scoot gifts Brandon Miller, that you're the second pick in the draft and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go for fit. I think that ideology is why a lot of teams stay mid, because you're drafting for fit when your team is ass. Like what's the fit, my nigga? But that's just me.
So let me ask. So if you end up in a situation like the Kings, if you end up with a situation like the Kings, where again you end up with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox, you would just feel like, okay, I'm just gonna take the younger guy and trade LaMelo for high value and just build around Scoot. Is that what you would do? Because that's the situation we end up in. Or like Sol said, like the Lakers, when you have D'Lo, then you end up getting Lonzo. You got to move off the other guy because they just
I'm not of this idea where, hey, it will fit, but it'll be on some Dame and CJ shit. No, don't settle for mid, you fucking ass. And I'm also not of the mindset that if you get them, that you just have to stay 10 toes with them. That's why I'm saying you get them, and you brought up the Kings, you can mirror that situation poetically, actually. You could even choose LaMelo long term and be like, hey, yo, Scoot has a lot of value. LaMelo's still better. Scoot, you're getting the fuck up on out of here. We're going to get another big. We're going to get a wing, whatever you feel fits with LaMelo Ball at that point. And you can likely get a more proven player than Brandon Miller at this point in time. Brandon Miller is a gamble for no reason, in my personal opinion, because you not only are drafting for fit, but you're also praying that he's like way better than projected, to be honest. So it's, I feel like I heavily disagree.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like you could have taken Scoot and then long term made a better move at that point in time. People are acting like you have to draft the dude and he has to stay for 4 years and then he has to re-sign with you. No, nigga, at the end of the day, if you're a GM, these are assets, bro. Like they're players. When we talk about players, they're humans. When we talk about humanity, but ultimately, if you're a GM, that's an asset. Scoot is a more valuable asset than Brandon Miller, 10 out of 10. And what's the fit? Your team sucks. So that's just my
drafting a guy to say in 2 years, fuck it, we're just going to try to flip him seems idiotic to me compared to drafting a guy that you want to go with and pair with the point guard that's already an all-star that you believe in. Now, Sage, yes, if they were in an identity crisis, if they were in the mode of, I don't know which guy I'm going to get, if they were unsure about LaMelo, 100 times out of 100, you draft Scoot and you have him battle it out. The same thing the Kings did with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox. You sit there, let them battle out, Mitchell. And you make.
They have Mitchell as well.
And they still have Davion. But I'm saying You have two guys battle it out if you're unsure. Versus if you're sure about a guy, I'm going to draft somebody that I feel goes with him, which Brandon Miller fits next to LaMelo Ball.
What are we sure about LaMelo Ball if you're the Hornets franchise? What are you sure about LaMelo Ball?
The last point guard, he's an all-star guard. He's an all-star guard. He made an all-star team already. De'Aaron Fox, they bought into him before he became an all-star. With LaMelo Ball for the Charlotte Hornets, they haven't had an all-star guard since Kemba Walker, and I'm going to be honest,
that's a technical
LaMelo Ball upside versus Kemba Walker's upside, in my opinion.
That's a technical goalpost, so I'll let you have it. I'm not saying you're moving anything, but that's just like, it's kind of like a disingenuous one because, Fox wasn't an all-star at that point in time. But if you're paying him, you are expecting him to likely be an all-star. Hence why he got the bag. And at that point in time, you've essentially viewed him in that franchise as an all-star guard. I don't think at this point in time, the Kings viewed Fox any different than the Hornets fucking feel about LaMelo right now. I think the feeling is the exact same within the franchise. So at that point, I personally think the Kings kind of proves exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know how it necessarily goes against it, but maybe I'm just not understanding.
Melo being a replacement is kind of nasty too. I just think there's a talent diff. There's a talent diff between LaMelo and Brandon, not LaMelo and Brandon Miller, but Scoot and Brandon Miller. So as Sage is saying, at that point, you just literally evaluate the talent. Because the worst outcome out of this situation would be if both LaMelo and Brandon Miller don't work out, and you never even had the opportunity to evaluate if Scoot would have worked out. But ultimately, I just saw it work out for the Kings too. They've been drafting similar positions for a long time, and all they're doing is just deciphering what will work and what doesn't work.
Marvin Bagley sucks. Keegan Murray stays. Fucking Tyrese Halliburton sucks. I mean, no, it didn't suck. He's a great asset. My bad. Halliburton's a great asset, but Fox is actually low-key him. And they even picked, they took a gamble even then, because I remember coming on here and saying they picked the wrong one. Shit. Shouldn't me? Hey, to each his own. That motherfucker was a bonus. It's like that.
The Sixers did
Cardiac, thank you. Cardiac, that's what I feel. To me, if a franchise knows they have their guy, it makes sense to build around that guy. I don't buy into the philosophy of, okay, let's play asset roulette. It doesn't make sense to me. But I get it. I'm not saying Scoot is the worst player, but I am a guy who also believes it doesn't matter if you're drafting at 1 or you're drafting at 30. If you have your guy, I have no problem drafting with need if the talent is there with that player you're drafting. If this is a guy that doesn't work, if this is a guy that I think is a bum, then we're having a different conversation. But if it's a guy that fits, it's guys that fit. No, it's safer to draft for need. That's the safer thing.
No, it's safer to draft Scoot because let's pull back up what cardio said. Cardiac said, and let's run with it. Let's say Damo and Yak are spitting the heavenly fossil Super Saiyan God truth of it, right? Then trade them. All right, it don't work. The GMs in this league, you don't want Scoot. Shit, we do. And trade them. You can either A, get picks because your team still sucks if it didn't work, right? Or B, you can go ahead and trade for a guy that you now know is exactly what you need. Like, I don't see the harm in taking Scoot, but you can 100%, and I guess I need to work towards the negative angle here. You can 100%, but like if Scoot doesn't work out for LaMelo Ball, but we know he's a better talent. Okay, cool, it doesn't work. If Brandon Miller doesn't work out, it's like, well, fuck, we wasted a year. So what do we do at that point? That's why I'm saying it's the safer thing when we're up at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even the lottery in general. If we're like pick 17, like at that point, right? Like the Lakers shouldn't have fucking been like, I know personally off of my casual college brain, Apparently, Cam Whitmore was sliding. I don't know ball. He could have actually been the most talented motherfucker. But people came to me and told me not only J Hood, but even the dude we got in the second round was a better fit. The Lakers should be drafting for fit 100%. But a team that was arguably a bottom 2 team, what the fuck you trying to just take the most valuable asset because that's the asset.
The fit pick is still talented. That's why. It's one thing if you're taking a dramatic reach down to draft for fit, then Sage, I'm with you 100%. They didn't reach that far down to draft for fit. That's what the difference is.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Special. Yeah. I think he's just another athletic guard that we've seen every other draft.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Then we just talk.
He's good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's good, but I think he's special. There we go.
Okay. I think even to what Cardiac said, he said that as if Brandon Miller is proven already. He has some good shooting numbers in college. What I saw, his on-ball ability is not, but that may not matter. That may not matter. It's a catch and shoot dude. I think
he's not going to play that kind of game. Like, the way he's playing Summer League, he's being misused because that's awful.
That he could be some catch and shoot type of guy or whatever the case may be. What you could do is, what you could trade Scoot for, is somebody who's actually proven, somebody that has actual NBA experience that also plays defense to boot, not just Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I want to be extremely clear because now I see Chap typing it, and me and Damo just had a meeting of the minds here. Nobody think Brandon. I don't know what the fuck Brandon Miller gonna do. I don't think he's ass. Based off what I've seen, why would I think he's ass? He's apparently a fit for LaMelo. I'll see soon. I'm not hating on the dude before he got here. Oh my God, well, Omar is. Damn. I'm not hating on the dude before he gets here. I'm saying I've seen enough film from Scoot to be like, I ain't gonna lie to him. He's a bad boy. I think we all agree Scoot like that. And I think Scoot's going to be special. Damo actually thinks less of Scoot than I do probably. So at that point, it's just a matter of like who had the eye for talent or some shit, I guess. At that point, it is what it is.
And I ain't gonna lie. I might sound crazy here. I would literally have Jabari Parker or Jabari Smith Jr. before I have
he bringing
Brandon
up
Miller.
Brandon Miller.
Mm-hmm.
You said Jabari Parker.
Jeez, man.
Jabari Smith.
I'm not giving any of these prospects time, bro.
No. That's not what it is. But if we compare him prospect for prospect, Jabari Smith is a good shooter as well, but also has defensive versatility potential. So I want Jabari Smith. Now I don't see that with Brandon Miller.
I feel like Brandon Miller is going to be a better on-ball creator than Jabari. But
why does that matter with LaMelo? That's not going to be him at all, B-Souls. That's like saying I think Klay Thompson is going to be a better on-ball creator than Kyle Korver. Right.
It still matters. It might just not be the most valuable skill next to LaMelo. Bro, do you want him to just be PJ Tucker out there? Goddamn.
But what you're saying,
LaMelo and 5 PJs.
No, but listen to what you're saying. I think he'll be a better on-ball creator. If the offense that they're about to run doesn't have him doing a bunch of on-ball stuff, then I'd rather get the guy who's a better defender. I think you would too.
Yeah, I would too. But again, I think the Hornets are now literally have no identity. So I don't know what offense they're about to run with Brandon Miller without. So
I mean, you could deduce things, but ultimately the Hornets are just bad franchise.
Just give these guys more time,
can't predict anything with them motherfuckers.
It's been like 2 weeks of summer league.
And I'm not. Let me. Also, let's be clear. Let's be clear to this person and to y'all saying just give these guys more time. Y'all don't watch college basketball. That's why you saying give it more time. Y'all don't look at these prospects until maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now. That's the difference in the reason why I have the stance that I have. Is a little bit more credibility than somebody that just watched 2 summer league basketball games. I didn't even watch their second game. I didn't give a fuck to watch it. I knew Brandon.
That's why I'm not making.
And then I knew in the summer league, I knew they was gonna make him do some on-ball stuff. I don't give a fuck about that shit. But I did watch him at Alabama, and I did see him have a shitty performance in the tournament. I did see when they played UNC, somebody pressed him when he had to have on-ball responsibilities, and that nigga fucking folded. Y'all talk about Jaylen Brown's left hand. Go look at Brandon Miller try to dribble that ball 3 times in a row.
Man, Damo, what you think he's spitting or something?
I mean, again, we're talking about guys that are bound to develop. Now, if he goes to Charlotte, if he goes to Charlotte and he doesn't develop his left hand or develop his own ball, then hey, we can come back and revisit this conversation and not sit there and say, hey, I was wrong about Brandon Miller.
Right.
But I feel like what Brandon Miller is going to turn into is going to be a guy who, again, I'm not saying the Hornets picked the guy at number 2 who's going to be a top 10 player in the league. No, I feel they picked the guy to fit with what they're trying to build. Now, what that is, Shit if I know. I'm not saying it's going to work. I just know for a fact from what they did, and I said this shit in spaces beforehand because Corey owed me $50 because we made a bet. And I'm like, bro, I can tell you what they're going to do. They have their guy that they want to pay, they like. They're going to build around him. And when you do that, you're going to take guys that fit. Brandon Miller, out of all those guys that was there, unless you was going to take the other Thompson twin, Brandon Miller was the guy that fit next to LaMelo and anything else they're trying to do. And I give it a 2-year window to see if it actually works. And if it doesn't, I'll sit there and say, hey, bro, you should have just took the Thompson twin at that point. Hey, bro, you should have took a risk with Cam Whitmore. I will be willing to say they were wrong.
Traded down,
but I think Brandon Miller will be able to develop nicely and be a cool piece next to LaMelo. I don't think he's going to lead this team. I don't think he's going to be Brandon Ingram. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is Brandon Miller will be a serviceable wing playing next to LaMelo Ball. And for some teams, that's what you need. I was on fucking Player Shorts earlier talking about, Jabari Smith at 3. Niggas are saying, he might be Trevor Ariza. Well, depending on how your team ends up being and what you need, some guys need a Trevor Ariza. And if you do everything else right, and this guy you picked at 3, this specific gear ends up being Trevor Ariza, that's not bad. But if you picked one guy here, you picked Trevor Ariza 3, and then duds the rest, that Trevor Ariza that was supposed to be good at number 3 is going to look real fucking bad. So time will tell with Brandon Miller.
I guess we'll close off.
I think Scoot, Wemby, both Thompson twins, Cam Whitmore, fuck it, James Najee. A lot of guys are going to be better than Brandon Miller going forward. Not saying that. But fitting next to LaMelo Ball with what they want to do, a lot of guys wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that based on if you watch college. I haven't, so I have to. Yeah. I have to agree on that. Close the door with saying this. At the end of the day, no, round 2 is where I think like a lot of these teams really fuck up. I agree with you there. Pick 34, 35, 36, 31 even. That's where these teams fuck up bad. You're supposed to be able to get first round talent in the second round if you're a bad team. And then when you can't do that, that's when oftentimes your team just never recovers.